guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, you're welcome. My name is Beatrice Titus. I film on faith and relationships from just in Nigeria. So I'm so excited about today's video because we are having our very first guest appearance. Let me not talk too much. Let me introduce her. Please, can you introduce yourself to us?
My name is Hanna Umaru, live in Jos, Nigeria. I'm a mother of four. I'm a businesswoman and I also work. I work with one of the foremost online companies in Nigeria. Basically, that's it for me.
You're welcome, ma'am. So you can tell from the title of today's video, we'll be talking about emotional abuse. And Atiani here will be here to shed more light to this. So Atiani, please, can you tell us, in your own words, what emotional abuse is?
Well, for me, abuse, like I would always say, is the abnormal use of something, and when you abuse your emotions, what you're doing is that you're using your emotions to a negative effect. Having there's no productivity at the end of it. It's a bad thing that happens with your emotions. I believe emotions are very neutral. Is something I'm learning new. In recent times, that every emotion is actually neutral. You can get angry, and actually the end result is not bad. You can be happy, and the end result is not bad. So whatever it is that you use your emotions to do, it's a use of emotions. At the end of it, two people can get angry, but the end result is different. So for me, emotional abuse is when you abuse your emotions. So you take your emotions and use it for a negative and get a negative result out of it. That's the bottom line for me. That's what emotional abuse is for me. So it's not physical. It's most of the time is verbal. It is using intimidation. It is using trying to put the person down or whatever. But that is what it ends up doing. Using your emotions to destroy somebody rather than build the person.
Okay. So many people are in this kind of relationship and they don't even know that the relationship is abusive. Many people are in the relationship. I think that people outside the relationship are people that actually see that you are in an abusive relationship. So how do I know that I am in emotional abuse relationship?
Well, you're right. A lot of times people in the relationship don't really know that they're in an abusive relationship. But, any relationship that puts you down, you know, I always think of, when I think of relationships, I think about God, you know, and every relationship is supposed to be bound by love. And, when you think about loving somebody, you think about giving, you think about building, because that's the picture I have, when it comes to with God, So if you're in a relationship and it's not building you up, rather the person is putting you down, because those are signs of an abusive relationship. You see, the person is very controlling, you know. The person wants to control the people you talk to. The person wants to control the things you do. The person most likely will isolate you from friends, from family. The person puts you down every opportunity. Embarrasses you. Humiliates you. The person calls you names. Several times. The person is name calling in an emotionally abusive relationship. You see, somebody who wants to shame you a lot of times. You see somebody who blames you for everything. He does something and he blames you. Or she does something and she blames you. Somebody, like, I remember my own situation. One of the things that happened to me was that I was constantly told that I had no value, and because of that, it affected my self-esteem after I walked out of the marriage. So that's the issue. It strips you of dignity. It strips you of everything that is you. The person wants to give you a picture of who you are instead of you having a picture of who you really are. So all that happens. So when you see relationships like that, it's abusive. It's certainly abusive. That's the truth.
So, what would you have to say to people that are in an abusive relationship and they feel, okay, these are single people now, and they feel that I can change this person, I can, because that is how some people think. They just think, ah, if I see this thing, I can change this person. So, what would you have to say to
Mm.
this person?
You know, the truth is that is a very big lie. It is a lie that you can change anybody. People change because they decide to change, not because you want them to change. People need anybody who wants to change needs to get to that place. You need to see yourself. You know what it means like. You know what it feels like. You look at yourself in the mirror and see yourself for who you are. Now, an abusive person needs to look into the mirror and see himself or herself for who they are. I need to look at myself and say, I have a problem and I need to deal with this. You know, it reminds me of a scripture in the Bible that says that before you take out the speck in somebody's eye, remove the log in your eye. Most of the times, most times people look at other people, you know, when there is a problem. The first thing we look at is where is this fault, and we don't look at ourselves. It's a normal thing. It's a human nature thing. It's a selfish nature. The first thing you do is you look at the other person. What did the person do to get me to this place? It's usually like that. You know, so except if an abuser is able to look into the mirror and say if there is an issue and if there's a problem in a relationship, each person will have to look at himself and say, what did I do wrong? Where did I miss it? And accept responsibility for what they did. You know, so you can't change anybody. You know, don't lie to yourself that you can do anything about anybody. You deal with yourself and let the person deal with himself, and both of you come to an agreement that you're going to work it out, and that's the only thing you can do.
Okay, Ma. So these are some of the signs that we know that we are in an emotional abusive relationship. Okay, guys, so we've heard from Auntie Annie, and she has told us some of the signs that we know we are in an emotional abusive relationships. So, with this, we've come to the end of this episode. However, we'll still be having Auntie Annie back here. She'll be telling us on how to deal with emotionally abusive relationships. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and leave your comments in the comment sections below. Thank you, Auntie Annie, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I'll see you guys in my next video. I promise you to be exciting. Bye.